Have you ever felt trapped? Perhaps like Tom York once said, a pig in a cage on antibiotics. Oh. They're all... Oh, shoot, okay. Well, I have felt trapped in most points of my life, and some of which heavily affected me as a person. However, there will always be a key to your cage. And for me, this person is Cooper Martin. Cooper Martin is a friend of mine I have had since about 3rd or 4th grade, and possibly earlier. However, the memories are still a bit fuzzy up here. My friendship with Cooper has evolved much over time over the years we have been friends, from 4th grade to freshman year of high school now. Thus, I will talk about our friendship from its beginning to the present. In the beginning, things were slow and monotonous. My time in elementary school was very slow and was a bit awkward. I had difficulty in 3rd grade with switching medication from the first medication I was on to a stimulant version, and it looked like I was going down a similar path for most of the duration of 4th grade. However, that's when I met Cooper Martin. Cooper was the only one who was willing to listen to how I felt and understood what other people were going through and was willing to listen. It was enjoyable to talk to him. And honestly, we had some good times together in 4th grade, but we hadn't exactly gotten our friendship off the rails yet, so to speak. At the end of 4th grade, Cooper started talking to people that I was not on the best terms with, and this made me a bit nervous, and it was, of course, a warning sign, something that I had not heeded, and I still regret not heeding that warning to this day, because it did not make me at all prepared for the changes that would come in 5th grade. And during 5th grade, things changed a lot. As I looked at people around me, and judging by the way people talked to others and acted, popularity was becoming the new craze, as of sorts. Choking. No. Okay. Popularity was the new craze in 5th grade, and I was not exactly popular myself. And this was a slightly alarming fact, as I felt mostly alone in the classroom during 5th grade. Then, after a bunch of time had passed, and we were about 2-3 weeks into 5th grade, it all came to a head one Thursday afternoon. Cooper was talking with a few other people at the back table where he sat, and after a few minutes, one of the popular kids stood up and yelled at me, told me to stop eavesdropping. This was another thing that carried on through most of 5th grade. It was really annoying, but it is a good plot point. And after a few minutes, all the kids started yelling at me, except for Cooper. And when I stood up to defend myself, that's when Cooper stood up. And he said that I should stop listening on their conversations, jigging in. And I took this message the wrong way. I was supposed to interpret it in a helpful way, obviously, but for me, this was a silver bullet to my heart. And for most of 5th grade, I ended up stopping my conversations with Cooper, not seeing him as much. And in the years that followed, we had to make up a lot of ground after that happened. Which leads us into 6th grade. During the start of 6th grade, Cooper and I had slowly started to come back together as we had taken some time away from each other during summer break of 5th grade. And in 6th grade, we had started to accept our differences, started to learn from each other, and really see how we had grown each other as people. After 6th grade, we moved on to 7th grade. And 7th grade is where everything started to pick up. We were finally back together. We were having conversation. We were hanging out with each other on weekends. And it was fun for a time. Until the end of 7th grade came and COVID struck. That was when I was at the most distance from Cooper. I couldn't see him in person. I couldn't go to his house anymore. I couldn't even talk with him other than through online means. And online school was also very rough during 8th grade. But after 8th grade, we come to now, freshman year at Alma High School. And I can say firmly and proudly from where I've come that our friendship has evolved and grown over time, and that I really feel like I have a connection to Cooper now. And I love talking to him. He's really fun to listen to. So, if any of you have felt trapped in a cage, much like Tom York and his lyrics, having a strong and reliable friendship with Cooper was the key to my cage. So, I think we'll both agree that when it comes down to it, you'll make that key to escape your cage.